got flack earlier because, listen, I think the Mavericks made a bad trade. Rick Bucher joining us live, Fox Sports NBA analyst. I took a lot of heat. I said, but if you've watched the first 5 games, and I know he was inactive since Christmas, there is a little bit of what Dallas was fearful of. He's not a defender. He's not in great shape.
Yeah.
His energy level gets sapped very quickly. He looked exhausted in that fourth quarter against the Mavs. And then a story comes out today that they called Minnesota for Ant, and they were like, Minnesota said, no, thank you, which I would have said, I know the Lakers stole him. But if you watch him, can I make just the argument? If AD was healthy right now, Dallas would be a more complete team than the Lakers, who are very heavy playmaker, but still are going to run into a big logjam where they won't stop bigs in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's hypothetical, but I agree with you. We wouldn't be looking at this as a lopsided trade if AD was available. We saw a glimpse of it, right?
When they played Houston.
When he first came out, you're like, oh, my God. And it's why, most of us covering the league, we're like, you know what, Dallas is going to be really good.
Oh, I think so.
For the next year or two. That's the gamble. And that's why anybody who's judging this now, you can't judge this over the next 5-6 games or the next few months. It is going to be who wins a championship. If Luka comes to LA, and especially if they win it this year, which I still think is a reach, but if he wins a championship over the next 5 years in LA, and the Mavericks are basically betting short, they're going to win it in the next year or two. That's their best opportunity. If Dallas wins a championship the next year or two, then I'm saying they won the trade.
Yeah.
And they're simply what they decided was one of the reasons Minnesota wasn't willing to make that is because it's not what Luka has done to this point. It's what he's going to do for the next 5 years, and you're going to invest $345 million in it. So is he going to be LeBron James or Steph Curry in terms of durability?
No.
Or is he going to be closer to Joel Embiid or Zion Williamson, who you look at, signed max deals, and ended up, that's a regrettable decision in both cases. So based on what he's done to this point, I'm not making a comparison in terms of what Joel and Zion have done. Luka has defied that. But when he was coming out, look, when I looked at what he did in Europe, going into the draft, there should have been no question he was the number 1 pick. It should have been like Cooper Flag this year or LeBron coming out. Oh, DeAndre Ayton and like, you're going to take him over Luka? But the question was his lifestyle, his conditioning.
Even then.
And his body coming out.
Yeah.
People had questions.
I remember looking at the video and saying on the air, is he athletic enough? He just looks blocky.
Yeah. Now look, IQ off the charts. And that's the biggest element to his game and why he's dominated in the NBA. He's so smart. He makes you play his game.
Right.
And he has been terrific to this point. But there's 2 parts here, and we're seeing it. This is not the first player that a team was looking at having to give a max contract, a super max contract at this point, and said, we're not going to do it. LA Clippers did it with Paul George. We'd rather let him walk than give him the super max.
Yep.
Miami Heat would rather let Jimmy Butler walk or take less on the dollar than give him a max. And Luka Doncic is in that same category.
I threw this out, Rick. It's one thing when you paid LeBron $40 million. Once the number $75 million is that I think you're going to see more stars move, because once I have to pay you $75 million, now your conditioning matters, your injury history matters. You're going to make more than Patrick Mahomes. I don't care if you're a billionaire. $40 million feels more like a rounding error for Steve Ballmer.
Sure.
$75 million guaranteed 5 years is not a rounding error to any billionaire, including Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen is the players saw themselves, it's a win. No, it's a microscope.
Yeah.
Now I'm counting everything. And when I have 4 calf injuries and you are a bad defensive player, I can even move Luka.
Sure.
I don't think he's the last star to get moved.
I'm with you. Or the last star who's facing, like, we got to give him a supermax. You know what? I think we'd like to get off of that.
That's right.
and get something else. Because what we have seen with the teams that are winning is the balance of your team. You can't, we're still in this mindset of big threes. Like, if I have a big 3 and I can fill the rest, I can't afford to have a big 3. Like, if I do that, then I have no other pieces. I have no other money to spend. And that's just not the way you get to a championship these days. And if you are going to go that direction, if you are going to give supermaxes to two guys, then they better be available 70 to 75 games during the regular season, and they better be able to play an additional 20 games in the postseason.
Because analytics, I had said this about 6 to 8 weeks ago, just get Jimmy Butler with Steph, get him in the building. He's a very intentional player.
Yeah.
He's the anti-Wiggins, is that every possession is intense.
Yeah.
And you remember every one of his points. Wiggins can give you 28, and I don't remember 3 baskets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's the anti-Wiggins. Get him in the building. I don't care what analytics say, because analytics were like, are you a little surprised that it's been this seamless?
I'm not surprised that it's been this seamless. I've been surprised, and I think I would disagree with you on the analytics. I believe that Jimmy has answered the analytics as well, because he's filled gaps that Andrew simply did not.
Yeah.
Number one, he gets to the free throw
line. A lot.
Yes.
The Warriors, when Steph was on, they just didn't get to the line.
Yeah, they were, last I checked, they were still last in free throw percentage, and they were 23rd in free throw attempts. And that's since Jimmy's come on, averaging 9 free throws a game. So they had to have been in the bottom 5, right? And when you have 30-somethings like Jimmy and Steph and Draymond, when you're getting to the free throw line, 1, that's built-in rest during the course of the game. And 2, it allows you to set your defense so you're not getting beat in transition, which the Warriors were getting a lot of early on. The other element that doesn't fit in analytics, that's the intangible, is Jimmy comes with swagger. And Draymond Green, since his game has fallen off a little bit, he always provided that bravado. The bravado doesn't play as loud when you're not quite as impactful. Jimmy comes in and now doubles down. Now you have 2 loud bravado guys that adds to the entire atmosphere and environment. So you add the free throws, also finishes at the rim. Wiggins, they have about the same finishing percentage at the rim, but Jimmy takes almost more than a third of his shots at the rim.
Right.
Andrew did not do that.
Right.
So he's filled a lot of gaps that they did not, that needed to be filled, and it has made a huge difference.
All right, fine. This is a big topic. So yesterday I said Tom Cruise is a movie star. Jeremy Irons is a great actor. John Malkovich is a great actor. Mm-hmm. Jeremy Irons, great actor. Denzel and Tom Cruise walk into a room. Those are movie stars.
Yep.
Jason Tatum is a great NBA player. Mm-hmm. He is not a face of the league. He has no aura. Mm-hmm. I have seen him play live 4 times, and I've seen him play 4 times.
Yeah.
He's been excellent.
Yeah.
There have been times Jaylen Brown, talk to the hand. Yeah. I'm going to control. And I'm like, that's not a face of the league guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I nuts?
No, not at all. I mean, it's why we kind of shoehorned Anthony Edwards into this. Can he be the face of the league? Because he's got the attitude that you want. He's got the dynamic.
He's aggressive.
He's got the dynamic game and personality that you want as the face of the league. He just doesn't have the resume. Right. Like Jason Tatum has the resume.
Right.
But he doesn't have the persona.
Yeah.
And you have to have both.
There's a formula to it. LeBron, Magic, and Michael,
yeah.
all great businessmen. Mm-hmm. Very early on, they got the value of corporate America, shoe deal, get on TV, make yourself available for interview. LeBron to this day is always available after. I mean, literally can be a sideline reporter in Orlando. LeBron walks right over outside of the Luka game in L.A. against the Mavericks where he left so that Luka could get the shine on that and get the love. So okay, let me throw this out there. Here's our final topic. So look, he and I disagree on this. I think Inside the NBA is an entertainment show. Barkley acknowledges he doesn't watch all the games. They are they are to me the only NBA show of note that has bite and teeth and will call players out for load management and crap.
Yep.
Other than that, because nobody wants to lose access, it's a bit of a fawning media coverage league. NFL reporters are hard. They're hard on everybody, including Lamar Jackson. NBA meetings a little fawning. So LeBron said this about the face of the league conversation.
No, Channing did not say it perfectly.
I think this stuff is overstated. 90% of NBA coverage, even on the inside the NBA, they like the players, but if they'll call your crap out.
This is the problem. The problem is that you have all of these young players coming in, and we look at statistics, particularly offensive statistics, and we have people out there saying, fawning media, saying, oh, this guy, in fact, we just had this conversation. this guy is better than this guy, and we talk about a legend.
Yeah.
J-Mac just had me on his podcast.
Yeah.
He said, you're not going to like this. Paolo Banchero is better than Karl Malone. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And the problem is that when you then say that, then there's the pushback. I love Paolo Banchero.
Yeah.
He's in the book that I'm working on right now. Love everything about him. Immensely talented. I think he's a winning player. I think Orlando's got a future. Don't tell me he's better than Karl Malone. He's done nothing to justify that. So what happens is we put him on that pedestal, and then anybody who actually looks at the league in entirety goes, no, he's not. And so now you end up criticizing or taking apart Paolo Banchero when was never my intention.
My take is there's two sports where athletes really believe the media is too hard. International soccer stars and NBA stars. Why? Because they're both star-driven. And so we're constantly comparing iconic stars.
Yeah.
In football, it's like outside of Mahomes, Brady, it's a team structure.
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah, Josh Allen's great. We bang on the coaches, we talk coordinators in the NFL.
Yeah.
So when you're a star-driven sport, Messi, Ronaldo, Rooney in his prime, Mbappe will deal with this. Or if you're LeBron, Steph, or Ant, in those two worlds, star-driven, they make the most money.
Yeah.
NFL, you don't make the money. You don't make the money. So when you're it's like Hollywood.
Well, the other part is with the NFL, there is no access. You're not trying to protect any access because by and large, your access, if you're covering the league, it's with the GMs and the coaches. Right?
Right.
It's not with the players. The players aren't going to say anything anyway.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think that the attempt to maintain access has us saying things about players in the game today where I'm just like, look, I like that guy, but don't tell me he's better than so-and-so. And usually we're going to have that, like with a Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
We're going to have that conversation about guys who are in the conversation for face of the league. The best players are going to be compared to yesteryear's greatest players, and they're going to be put on a pedestal that they haven't warranted, and then they're going to get knocked off of that, and so it makes it look like they're being unfairly criticized.
Yeah. I've been in a room with LeBron. LeBron has an aura. I've been in a room with Magic. Magic's got an aura. I've been in a media scrum with Michael Jordan. I watched Jason Tatum 4 different times. I've gone and watched him play on the court. He's just a really talented guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the reality of his game. It's not a knock on him. He's just a really talented guy without any charisma.
Yeah. No, he's a really good guy. His game is not like, tell me the number of Jason Tatum plays you remember.
I said this yesterday. Close your eyes and think of Magic Johnson. You can see the highlights.
Oh, yeah.
You can
do it with Anthony Edwards, to be honest with you.
Close your eyes on Jason Tatum, and I just see 26 a night.
Yeah.
Good. A very willing defender.
Would love to have him on my team.
Absolutely.
But am I marketing my team? I might need to get somebody else along with him.
All right. Good stuff, Bukes. Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.